Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Chauskas. Today is the 30th of January 2019, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday's afternoon session where we're going to have a look at the markets, a few charts, the usual stuff, guys. So, but before we do that, first of all, I would like to apologize for the delay in this video and the start of this video because we did have a few technical issues here, but I'll try to catch up here, and yep, we'll jump into the market. So before we quickly do that, let's have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay guys, so now then, let's quickly jump into the charts. Now the first one I want to touch on here is actually FTSE 100. Now looking at this one here, as you can see, the idea that we've posted here yesterday actually played out very nicely. So we managed to get a nice pop here to the upside today as well. So we broke through this key area of resistance near the 6,860 level, and we've managed to reach this downside resistance line. And if you look at the daily chart quickly, this is the one that we managed to reach, so perfect touch. And of course, since then we kind of retraced back down. So the big question here is, are we gonna actually remain below this downside resistance line, or is this going to continue pushing further up here today and close the daily candle above this downside resistance line? So keep an eye on this one. Very interesting developments are happening here. In a way, if we're going to see a nice close above this downside line, then yep, in a way we could target the psychological 7,000 level, which if broken could be that gateway towards much higher levels in the near term. And this is of course where we will target the 7,100 level, maybe slightly above that. And let me just actually adjust this level right here. So this is the first potential target here, the 7,100 area approximately there. So keep an eye on that one. And if that doesn't hold the price down, then we could then aim for the 200 EMA here, shown as the black line on the daily chart. So for now, long story short, basically guys, keep an eye on this downside resistance line. Let's see if it breaks it or not. If it even if it remains below this downside resistance line, but actually stays above this other key area of, well, previously acting as a good area of resistance, the 6,915 level. If the index is going to remain above that, now becoming a support line, this level here remains above this level, then well, there is still a good chance that we could see maybe a break tomorrow and a push higher. But again, let's say for now we're just gonna continue playing it safe. We'll see how this is going to develop, how this day is going to end, and then we'll just take it from there. If this suddenly decides to drop back down below the 6,915 level, well, I mean, we could see maybe a further retracement back down here where we will target the 6,860 level again, or even actually going a little bit lower again. But for now, seems to be that the downside is slightly off the table, and let's see how this day is going to end. Jumping into Brent oil. Now looking at this one, certainly getting a nice push higher here today, slowly, but we are getting there. We're getting closer to this 62.55 level, so we're going to keep on monitoring that one. A nice good pop above this could lead this commodity towards this 200 EMA here, shown as the black line, or even actually going and testing this this high that we saw here back in November, back in the 16th of November last year, and that was approximately around the 68.35 zone. So keep your eyes on that one. Very interesting developments here, especially given the fact that there are some sanctions now in place against Venezuela, and we do know that Venezuela is a huge oil exporter, and this basically raises concerns of a potential of a potential can maybe cut down on the Venezuelan oil supply, which could have its effect on the price overall in the oil market overall. So keep your eyes on this one. Let's see how this plays out. Like I said, here for now, keep an eye on the 62.55 level. If we do get a nice pop above this, then yep, we could start aiming for higher levels. On the downside, it's the 59.20 level that we're going to be keeping a close eye on. A drop below this could potentially lead towards a decline towards the 55 mark, or even maybe just slightly above that, the 55.40, which was marked here near the highs of the 26th and 27th of December. So keep your eyes on that one. Jumping into gold now quickly here, guys. Another commodity, or in this case precious metal. So this one is had a nice push higher here, managed to reach the 1316 level, but kind of since then retraced back down, and now it's kind of pushing towards the 1309 or 1308 level that we were watching here. So the 1308, this was the level here that acted in the past as a good area of resistance, but now it could take the role of support, so beware of that. So the 1308, this is something that we're gonna be keeping a close eye on, and if we do get a break below this level, then yep, we will target the psychological 1300 or even the 1297.50 level, which was marked here by the lows of the 28th of January. So for now, guys, we are seeing a bit of retracement here back down, but then again, we need to see how this day is going to evolve and how this day is going to end and where this daily candle is going to finish it off. So keep your eyes on this one, and probably could be a nice setup for tomorrow, especially if we're going to see something like a doji forming here. So very interesting developments here. Let's see if we can squeeze something out of gold later on. Jumping into Ethereum now, this one's getting a nice push higher. Let me just jump into the 4-hour chart on this one, and you can see that yep, finally we've managed to move above the 105 level. Of course, today it was trading already above the pivot, so this was already a positive sign here for this crypto. So in a way, what we're targeting here is the 112.50 level. This area, of course, because this area kind of acted as a good area of support previously in the past, but now it could take the role of being a nice good area of resistance. So certainly for now, as you can see by the chart right which you can see here on this 4-hour chart, you can see that the price is kind of getting held here near the R2, which is around the 107 108 level. Certainly it did have a nice good overshoot here, but quickly retraced back down and currently sitting next to R2. In a way, there is a chance probably we could see maybe this one kind of closing here around this area, but tomorrow this would be very interesting to see if this continues to travel higher and we actually see a nice test of the 112.50. But if that just fails to kind of withstand the bull pressure here, further acceleration to the upside could lead towards a retest of this area right here around 117.5. As you can see here, back on the 26th of January and also around the 24th of January, it acted as a good area of resistance. So this is where we're going to keep on monitoring. But again, like I said, for today, we need to see this one kind of staying here around this area where it is right now. And this could, like I said, be a nice bullish indication for tomorrow. But like I said, anything can happen in this market. For now, continue observing it. And but to be honest, this is looking more bullish than bearish. Jumping into Aussie yen here now, a very interesting situation here on the Aussie yen. So of course, overall, you can see that yes, it has broken this a while ago. Of course, it has broken this downside resistance line, so it continues to kind of trade above it, and also it's trading above this very, in a way, tentative upside support line, flattish upside support line taken from the lows of the 9th of January. But what's more important here, it's now currently testing its resistance near the 78.80 level, approximately there. So you can see how well this level played out here in the past, and especially here back in the 25th of January and also the 18th of January. So if this gets a nice pop above the 78.80 level, this is where it could become more exciting for more bulls, because we could see more of them jumping in here and potentially driving this pair towards the 79.26 area approximately there, which you can see that it currently coincides with the R3 for today's pivot, and if we do, like I said, get a nice pop above the 78.80 level, this, like I said, this increases the chances of reaching this 79.26 level. It will be interesting to see, of course, if we do see this pop here and if it reaches it today, or maybe this is something for later on for the remaining of this week. But nevertheless, for now, guys, I continue observing the 78.80 level. Let's see how this plays out, and let's see how the daily candle actually closes in relation to that level. If it remains below this, then, well, we're still going to remain somewhat more bullish still, because for us, in order to, let's say, start considering much lower levels here, or let's say a further, like a drop here in the near term, then we would need to see a nice good drop below the 77.70 level. This way we could start examining much lower levels, but for now it seems that the downside could be slightly off the table. And the last pair I wanted to quickly touch on is the USD-CHF. Now this one is having a nice move here today. We're seeing that since its reversal here from the lows that we saw here near the 0.99 level, it continues to push higher. It's now not far from the psychological 1 level, so keep your eyes on that one. So it's currently kind of testing this area here. Let me just quickly put that on our mark that on our chart here. So this is the area where it's stuck here right now, just slightly below the 0.9990 level, so very close to the psychological 1 level. But again, let's continue observing this, because if this continues to remain below this level here, below the 0.9990, well, probably maybe we could see maybe a bit of a retracement back down here, a drop towards maybe the 0.9960 level, or maybe slightly lower. But again, we're as long as it kind of remains in this territory, we're still going to aim for higher levels for us, because for us to consider a possible let's say to consider a downside scenario on this one, we would need to see a break of the 0.99 level here, and only then we'll target much lower levels. And I do understand it's quite a big move here, but to be honest, it's better to be safe than sorry. So that's why keep your eyes on the 0.99 level. A nice good drop below this could lead towards further declines here, but for now, of course, judging by the picture that we're seeing here currently, it is looking more bullish than bearish, but we need to still see this good break above the 0.9990 level, a confirmed break where the daily candle would stay above this level, and then, like I said, we'll target higher levels, of course, the psychological 1 level, but going even further up here, maybe even actually going towards the 1.0045 zone, and that level was here back in the past, acted as a very good area of support, and this time could take the role of being a strong area of potential resistance. So, but then again, in order to consider these higher levels, we need to see a nice good close of the daily candle above the 0.9990 level first. Okay, guys, I'll have to close it here, and I'll have to wrap it up here. I do apologize for the late start, and I do apologize for running through the material a bit too quickly, but we will of course, we'll hopefully resume in a normal fashion tomorrow morning in my Trader's Espresso, so please join in then, and that's 7 o'clock GMT time. But for now, I hope you have a wonderful evening, guys. Bye bye.